Prime came into existence during this time, stemming from a joke surrounding, well, Twitch Prime. Dream proclaimed himself the god of this religion and Tommy the chosen one. A church was soon built for the religion. Other notable builds include the L'Manberg flag, built by Nihichu, you know, the one that every 13-year-old had hung up in their room at the time, and more lemon trees. Two conflicts also took place during this time period, being the Railway Skirmish and the Pet War.
Can we get back to politics, please? Yo.
Sorry if my voice sounds weird. I blew out my vocal cords yesterday at a concert. It was really good though. Since L'Manberg's inception, Wilbur had proclaimed himself to be the president of the nation. Because of this self-declaration, he often felt as if he hardly had any actual influence of power over his own nation. Wilbur had to truthfully earn himself the right to lead, and as such, Wilbur decided that L'Manberg would hold a democratic election and that he would run for president with Tommy as his running mate. They plotted to keep the election a secret, being the only party to run for office so that the citizens had to vote for them. One of the newer members, however, Quackity, discovered their plan and decided he would run against them in the election. Previously known for amusing commentary and wacky Discord-related videos, now known primarily for his Minecraft endeavors, Quackity was a very influential addition to the Dream SMP. His eccentric personality made for good entertainment for casual viewers, also allowing for him to get more creative with his storytelling aspects. This election would be his first, but far from last, proper role within the SMP's story. Wilbur and Tommy would name their party POG 2020, standing for Politicians of Gaming, whereas Quackity would name his party Swag 2020, with Swag standing for So We Are Gamers, and stated that he would announce his running mate soon. Wilbur and Tommy would start working on ways to surpass Swag 2020, one of which being a written list of reasons to vote for them. The reading goes as follows. Reasons to vote for us. 1. We won the war. Tubbo. 3. We don't like Sapnap, we just don't. He's just not that appealing. 4. George not found, he looked at us once and we got shaken up. 5. We will not stand for tyranny. 6. We are bonded by blood, no weapons here. 7. Probably endorsed by Vicstar. 8. We will lower taxes. 9. We will make big things. 10. We will be huge men.
What do you mean by that?
11. We will abolish Erit. 12. We will abolish. 13, I will president. 14, we are fucking strong and shit. 15, we will never be irrelevant. 16, we have the Pogon. 17, Mondays off. 18, we will make even bigger things. 19, we will make things 1 inch bigger than Quackity. Both parties began to scramble for the server's approval, and soon enough, the first political debate took place. Shortly before the debate, Quackity announced George Not Found to be his running mate, and during the election, Fundy would try to form his own party. However, he was shut down by Wilbur, which led to Fundy taking Quackity's side. Also during the debate, Wilbur dressed up, I guess, like a little revolutionary outfit. It's a little bit funny. He's very committed. Good for him, I guess. During this debate, several topics were brought up, such as territorial policies and opinions on the ongoing pet war and the killing of pets. Tommy would attempt to bribe Carl Jacobs, who had been administering the debate, and Carl would sway the debate in Wilbur's favor before the running mates Tommy and George would debate against each other. At this debate, chaos ensued and would end with no clear victorious party. The presidential election. Both parties continuously slandered and fought each other, and improvements were made to the server, such as building a crudely constructed White House and preparing the L'Manberg podium for the day of the election. Around the 21st of September, the election would take place, with the two running parties giving speeches to the server atop the L'Manberg podium. George would be asleep through the election while he was supposed to be with Quackity. This would be the first of many times George would simply sleep in real life through important events on the server, and honestly, I gotta respect him for that a little. Man's got his priorities straight. Both parties would give their speeches on the podium, and afterwards, much to Wilbur's annoyance, Fundy would take the stage and formally announce his own party with Nihichu or Nikki as his running mate, this party being Coconut 2020. Wait, Coconut?
Think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Wilbur would immediately deny Coconut 20 the right to run, but the people gave him immense backlash and he decided to allow their party to be included. Soon after, it was time for each party to bring forth their party's endorsements. Coconut 2020 would log off in a panic after realizing they, in fact, did not have any endorsements, but would soon return. Quackity would step forth first, bringing KSI as Swag 2020's endorsement, however, giving no evidence of such. Pog 2020, on the other hand, would bring to the table a video of Vicstar's endorsement.
Look, me and Tommy have had our differences in the past, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm a firm supporter of POG 2020. I have every belief in it. Support the movement.
Pog 2020 would have one more endorsement, however, brought onto the server by Wilbur. In a miraculous turn of events, Schlatt had finally returned to the server to show everyone else how it's really done. Thank you, Schlatt. It's worth mentioning that this Schlatt acts very differently from that of the funny man who logged onto the server a while back without Dream's permission.
But we ain't shit without a bomb.
This time, he's very clearly a part of the overarching narrative, written into the story and acting more as a character than a streamer. Schlatt appears on the server in an immensely confused state of mind, acting in an almost drunken manner, heaving and stumbling around like an old man. Tommy would have to escort him to the podium, and upon actually arriving to give his endorsement, Schlatt would have no idea why or how he was there.
Yeah, presidency.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Presidency for the Manberg.
Who's this?
It's me, babe.
Don't call me that.
My toxic Yowie? Have I found you at last? And in such an unexpected form of media. God forgive me, for I have sided with the enemy. I'm gonna put you right next to Bill Ford. Schlatt goes on to ramble, accidentally endorses Coconut 2020 instead, and proclaims that he himself will run for president, naming his party Schlatt 2020 before getting shoved off the stage. Dream goes on to endorse Schlatt, giving him his prized crossbow, and Schlatt begins firing shots at the podium, striking Tommy. Chrysalis Stick, the history book on the shelf, really is always repeating itself. Tommy, Wilbur, and Quackity fled from Schlatt following his attack. During their time of hiding, the poll to decide the victor of the presidential campaign would go live on Wilbur's Twitter, including Coconut 20 and Schlatt 2020. Wilbur, desperate and afraid that they may not have a shot at winning, attempted to reason with Quackity, asking for him to pull the Swag 2020 and Pog 2020 votes together in order to secure a victory if they are beaten out by one of the other parties. Quackity quickly saw through this and would end up endorsing Schlatt 2020 instead. All the people could do was wait until the polls finished. During this time, Quackity would also attempt 3 marriages,